Hey, what's going on, No Nation? It's CJ Wilson here with another episode of Dope Talk. We're right here in the midst of signing day as December 20th is approaching. So we're going to go on the trail. On the trail is brought to you by Realtor Jude Paul. Jude is a realtor in Southwest Florida, but services the entire state of Florida. Whether you're trying to buy your home or sell your home, Jude is your guy. Again, if you're trying to buy your home or sell your home, Jude is willing to donate 20% of the closing costs back to you. That's right, money back in your pocket if you go through Jude. 20% of the closing cost goes back to you. He's a big time FSU fan. And again, if you're trying to buy or sell your home, he's willing to donate proceeds of the sale to the Battles Inn Collective. As you guys know, Battles Inn has been really important to FSU in regards to the 2023 season, trying to carry over to the 2024 season. A lot of momentum has been going within Battles Inn as of late. So again, if you're trying to buy your home or sell your home, Jude is willing to donate some of the proceeds to the Battles Inn Collective. You can reach out to Jude at www.homesfornoles.com. Again, like I stated, signing day is Wednesday, December the 20th. So we're in the thick of recruiting season with a lot of buzz, a lot of information, a lot of juice going on for FSU and around the country within signing day. Within this last official visit weekend, FSU had a few guys on campus. We're going to highlight some of them. And probably the biggest surprise on campus for this weekend was on 2025 or now 2024 athlete Amari Williams. He did take official visit to FSU. This was a big shock in regards to the recruiting world and FSU fans in general getting Amari Williams on campus. Excuse me. He was the number one athlete for the 2025 class. Amari recently announced he's going to reclassify to the 2024 class, and his first official visit was to the FSU Seminoles. So again, big time athlete, 6'4", 215 pounds, and this news could come as a backup plan. Not necessarily a backup plan, I guess a plan of action to the recent news of Romano Blunt. If you guys haven't heard, the 2024, pretty the same situation. He was originally 2025, reclassified 2024, decommitted from the Miami Hurricanes and committed to the FSU Seminoles from Miami, Florida. Now the word is he's going to end up back within the Miami Hurricanes 2024 class and decommit from the FSU Seminoles. So FSU is proactive in trying to find a viable replacement. And here we are with Amari Williams. He was the number one athlete for the 2025 class, 6'4", 20 to 15 pounds. The kid plays everywhere. Receiver, linebacker, defensive end, you name it. I do think FSU is looking at him as an edge rusher for this 2024 class. Really dynamic athlete. Was a track runner as well. I'm pretty sure this kid is probably going to come in, and it's going to take a little time to get acclimated as he is reclassifying. But whenever he is ready to play, I do think this kid is going to be a bona fide athlete, a big time player off the edge, brings versatility, a lot of athleticism. I think FSU is in a very good spot. Post visit, has some really good things to say about FSU. At this point in time, he doesn't have any other visits scheduled, and we're not sure or not if he's going to sign on Wednesday or December 20th, or he's going to push it to February. But nonetheless, I think FSU is in a very good spot, and FSU kind of came out of nowhere within this recruitment. Most of the buzz around schools recruiting him was the University of Florida, Texas, Georgia, and USC, amongst others. FSU did a masterful job in, getting him on campus for this official visit, and I guess being under the radar within his recruitment because FSU was an afterthought for Williams' recruitment held just a couple of weeks ago to the public eye. So big time playmaker. He will be on campus. He's from the Florida area. Like I said, he's from Palm Beach County, Benjamin School, the same school that Jordan Travis went to. So that's going to be something interesting as well. Palm Beach guy, Florida guy, Amari Williams did reclassify from the 2025 class to the 2024 class. Now I'm going to move on to my favorite target and favorite commit for FSU for the 2024 recruiting cycle. KJ Bowden, five-star safety out of Beaufort, Georgia, was on campus for his official visit this weekend. Like I stated in previous videos in regards to speaking about KJ, I think FSU did a masterful job of recruiting KJ and using these visits on the back end instead of the beginning, right? If you go back to the summer visits, FSU did not burn an official visit for KJ Bowden, took official visits to Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, and Auburn. Instead, FSU has used unofficial visits to get KJ Bowden on campus during the summer months of June and July and things like that. KJ did end up committing to the FSU Seminoles and shocked the recruiting world once he committed to FSU. in August over the Georgia Bulldogs and the Auburn Tigers. But again, that hasn't stopped those other programs from pursuing him as well. We're going to get to that in a second. But just to get to the point of the recruiting tactic for FSU to keep KJ Bowden within the fold, they didn't burn any official visits and things like that. So what did they do? Kept that official visit for the last weekend prior to signing day and prior to the dead period. And I think that was a masterful job from FSU to keep that official visit on the back burner. Yes, he's committed to FSU, but as you guys know, other programs have been pursuing heavily. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Auburn Tigers. Auburn has been coming on strong as of late. They've been making a pretty strong push for KJ, but I do think KJ is going to stand strong in his commitment and sign with the FSU Seminoles. That's why I feel like it was very important in regards to the scheduling of these official visits to keep KJ Bowden's visit last and right before signing day, just to keep that information fresh within his mind. So I think FSU is in a good spot. And also, Mike Norvell, he did his in-home visit. He was the last head coach to have an in-home visit for KJ Bowden. Grew up an FSU fan, kid wants to come and play for the NOLES. Dynamic athlete, plays both ways, as you guys can see in the highlights. Receiver, cornerback, safety, kick return, you name it, just a dynamic athlete, big-time playmaker. Type of playmaker that FSU needs in the secondary, just, to get back to the DBU ways. FSU had a very good year this year within the 2023 season as far as, playing the pass and things like that. You bring in guys like KJ Bowden with the other defensive backs we have committed within this class, then, the sky's the limit as far as, athletic standpoint. Just getting back to that DBU title that the FSU has with all the history within the defensive back room. And speaking of defensive backs in that 2024 recruiting class and bringing those uber athletes in, Jamari Howard is the next guy that took an official visit to FSU this weekend. 4-star cornerback that committed to FSU like a month ago. 6'2", 180 pounds, long wingspan, track guy as well. Runs a sub 50 in the 400 meters. Long athlete, big time guy. I like Jamari Howard a lot. One of my favorite cornerbacks within the state of Florida. From Miami as well, too. From Miami, Florida. So they're doing a good job. They've been doing a good job in South Florida in recruiting those guys. But dynamic player. If you guys remember, it was more so he was committed to Michigan State under Mel Tucker, but down the stretch it was like a Florida Gators and FSU battle. I think FSU started pulling away down the stretch, especially once he took an unofficial visit to Orlando for the FSU and LSU game. Big time athlete, uber long guy. I like this kid a lot. He was on campus as well for an official visit. One of the few commits, one of the few commits that FSU had on campus to lock up for the official visit for this weekend. And speaking of Miami guys and things like that, LaWayne McCoy, 4-star receiver from Miami Central, big-time playmaker as well. Like I said, FSU is doing a really good job in South Florida and recruiting that area and getting these guys to buy in and commit. Another Miami guy, LaWayne McCoy. I like this kid a lot. Can play receiver, can play cornerback. FSU is currently recruiting him to play receiver. Dynamic guy, nice hands, runs great routes, nice speed, and attacks the ball in the air too. Contested balls and things like that. Does a really good job of attacking the ball in the air. I like LaWayne McCoy a lot. One of my favorite recruits within this cycle. As you guys remember, he committed to FSU, and it was a surprise when he committed to FSU. He committed in April, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people felt like he was the Miami Hurricanes lean at that time. A lot of people thought he was going to commit to the Miami Hurricanes pretty shortly. But no, he changed those plans and committed to FSU. Long story short, you go into the summer months, LaWayne did not take a visit at all to FSU, but took multiple visits to the Miami Hurricanes over the summer. People within the Miami Hurricanes camp thought he was a flip candidate back to the Miami, or not back, excuse me, he was a flip candidate to the Miami Hurricanes. He was going to end up decommitting for the Florida State Seminoles. Again, lo and behold, FSU did get him back on campus towards the end of the summer, and he also made it again. This was a huge game from a recruiting standpoint. He also made it again for the LSU game in Orlando and was blown away how FSU performed, how, the stadium looked, and how, active and rowdy the fans were and things like that. So I think that kind of locked up the commitment of LaWayne McCoy. Again, Miami guy, 6 foot 6'1", like this kid a lot, big time receiver. Ron Dugas has done an excellent job in flipping the receiver room for FSU. So another Miami guy in the fold that was on campus for his official visit weekend, LaWayne McCoy. It was a lot of worries that he would flip to the Miami Hurricanes, but those worries, so to speak, has been put to rest in recent months. Let's go to the trenches. Four-star offensive tackle Manasse Itete, 6'5", 290 pounds. He was on FSU campus for his official visit. I like this kid a lot. He's from California, but originally from the Congo. Played basketball, real nice feet. Played basketball, and that's how his high school football coach saw him. Saw him making some plays, boxing out guys, grabbing rebounds, quick feet on the basketball court. I said, you can make a lot of money playing offensive line with your feet and things like that in your frame. Long story short, brought him to the football field. This is his only second year of playing organized football. So the sky's the limit as far as, potential and things like that. Very raw. Want to get coached up by Coach Alex Atkins. So I think the sky's the limit for Manasse Etienne. Dynamic athlete, like I stated, quick feet as he is a former basketball player. He was originally, just to give you a little bit of backstory for his recruitment, he took an unofficial visit to FSU in the spring. And the buzz was he was going to commit to FSU around that time. Long story short, moved forward to the summer. He took an official visit to the USC Trojans and ended up committing to USC shortly after that. But Alex Atkins at FSU stayed consistent within the recruitment, kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Ended up decommitting from the USC Trojans and committing back to FSU. Those old feelings never left for FSU. So to get him on campus for his official visit to shore things up before signing day is a good thing. So I think Alex Atkins and staff found a really good gem in Manasse Itete. Some great clay he has to mold moving forward as far as, like I said, the sky's the limit potential-wise because it's only second year of playing organized football. And we're going to go ahead and get things wrapped up with the last official visitor for this weekend, Kam Davis, longtime four-star running back commit out of Albany, Georgia. Kam has been the model for loyalty and consistency. He's been committed to FSU since his freshman year, locked in with the Seminoles, hasn't wavered ever since. You had programs like the University of Florida, University of Alabama, and the Georgia Bulldogs all pushed at different times for Kam Davis's services, but he stayed committed to FSU, never wavered, never really entertained any other schools. A kid that just knew exactly where he wanted to go in Kam Davis. Big time playmaker, dynamic playmaker. I think this kid is damn near college ready as it is. Met him at the spring game. The kid is rock solid. It reminds me of Cam Akers as far as his running style and things like that. Physical, and it's crazy. He also was the high school quarterback for Albany, just like Cam Akers was the high school quarterback as well. I think it'll be an easy transition once he gets to FSU. He will be enrolling early. Dynamic playmaker, dynamic running back. Kid is just built like a rock. Physical, speed guy, can do it all. Nice vision. I think his time at quarterback will help him when he transitions to the full-time running back position. Probably one of the earliest big recruiting wins for Mike Norvell and staff in Kam Davis. He's just been loyal the entire time. Big-time dynamic playmaker. Fringe 5-star, depending on what services you're looking at. But none of that matters right now, as he will be an FSU Seminole dynamic playmaker. I'm really high on Kam, like him a lot. So, again, this is a kid, like I said, has been committed for a long time. Just to go ahead and wrap things up for his official visit prior to signing day. And with Kam, he says it's nothing that FSU can really show him any different. He's been on campus so many times in the past. It's more so just building on those relationships, right? Strengthening that relationship that he has with the staff and the current players. And just, getting ready to get on campus for the FSU Seminoles. Like Kam Davis a lot. That's all we have as far as the official visitors for this weekend. But FSU did get a commitment for the 2026 class. I know it's a while away, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the news anyway. Efrem White, 2026 receiver, top 50 guy for that class. He is currently a sophomore. Ended up committing to the FSU Seminoles. 6'2", 160 pounds from Vero Beach. Dynamic playmaker, will be one of the best players in the country once his class comes around. There's a lot of buzz around FSU right now. We'll definitely get more information to you guys as the information comes. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We have more information as we get closer to signing day. Go Noles.